Signs suggest that we're going to have a big war soon. The president announced that he is hiking the Pentagon budget from $1 trillion to $1.5 trillion. Just announced that. That's the kind of budget that a country that anticipates a global or regional war has for its military. Obviously, we're moving in that direction toward a world war. Sorry. So how do you position yourself for that? Well, you look at a map and you ask, what areas do I want to control? Where are the trade routes? Who's got the resources? And if you were to do that, you would arrive at the most obvious conclusion of all, which is the United States has to have a relationship with Russia in order to survive anything like that. Signs suggest.
Shalom, 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 Israel, giving all praise to Yahweh, by Shemel, Shabbat, Shemel, Chakadash. Double honors to the apostles, the elders, the GMS, and teach to Akim out there, pushing his word in truth and sincerity, risking your freedom and your life to do so more so now than ever before. Before we are close to the end, Shalaki for the time, he at work, slaving away. But pretty much, man, there's a guy, Tucker Carlson, news reporter, and he actually came to camp years ago. Elder Apostle Tahar spotted him out and, was able to identify who he was, although he denied it. But pretty much, man, like he said, America's at war, and which they always been at war, which is Esau's blessing. The sword, by the sword shall I live, military might. It's the reason why they got the kingdom during the Greeks, Rome, and now America, we're an extension of the EU. America is the whore that sitteth on the beast, It pretty much rides the beast, making decisions for the beast. This beautiful whore that's decked with all type of ornaments, because America is known for its wealth and beautiful high standard of living. Quality of life. That's why the scriptures compare America to the whore that's beautiful, that's decked with all type of ornaments. That's what America is to the world. But like a whore, she contracted a disease. The people that slept with her are mad because now this whore is betraying them. You see what I'm saying? So this is Joel, the 3rd chapter, the 9th verse. Proclaim ye this amongst the Gentiles. Prepare war. Wake ye up the mighty men. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Right. So what does the scripture say? Proclaim this amongst the Gentiles. What are we proclaiming? What are we declaring? Prepare for war. All these nations, we just seen Trump pick up Maduro from Venezuela, because we're finding out that the president of Venezuela is not the president, excuse me. Venezuela has one of the largest oil reserves in the world. We know that, and not only that, they want to strike a deal with the Saudi Arabia to not trade oil in U.S. dollar, therefore destroying the hegemony or the dominance America has with the world via oil-backed currency. So one guy said before, America's on life support. America's on life support. This is the end of the American empire, believe it or not. And we're seeing it with our eyes. But we know that this is not the end yet. We know that there's other prophecies that have to be fulfilled. i.e. the mark of the beast, MOTB, which is the RFID chip. We believe is the RFID chip. All signs point to it being the RFID chip. Revelation, the 13th chapter. In the 10th verse. I'm sorry, 13 and 16. Which you won't be able to buy or sell without it. We believe that's the next thing, because if America can sustain itself via oil backed by U.S. dollars, what's the next step? What's the next step? We need a new currency, digital. You gonna have to make transactions via chip. So it says, verse 10, in Joel, the 3rd chapter, be your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. That's why all these weaker nations, are now having nuclear capabilities. All right. Once you're a nuclear state or a nuclear country, you're no longer weak, because the end game is, if you invade us and we're losing the war, we'll press the button and we'll wipe out 10 million people in your country in less than an hour. So having a nuclear missile, even just one, makes you a nuclear power state. Now we know Russia, China, and America are among the top 3 that have the most nuclear missiles. But there's other nations within the NATO, within, BRICS countries that have nuclear capabilities. Saudi Arabia, Iran, although they say they didn't, they definitely do. So, all things point to, what's happening. It says, let the weak say I am strong. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, for there I will sit to judge all the heathen round about. What's the valley of Jehoshaphat? Yahweh Shaphat, meaning the Most High's judgment. That's in the Middle East. So we're not really too pressed about this whole thing in Venezuela, but we know it's a trickle-down effect. It's a domino effect. Or what's to really come is only going to further exacerbate, sever ties within the nations. Let them pick sides, pick sides. It's only going to get worse. So hold on. It's Revelations 11 and 14. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. So the second woe is past. What is the woe in the scriptures? The woe means destruction, misery, trouble, great sorrow, distress. It says, yeah, so a great amount of distress, things that cause sorrow. So what is the second woe? Why is it numbered? Because this is referring to World War, all right, which caused a lot of stress for people, a lot of death, a lot of sorrow, a lot of famine. So it says the second war is past. Yes, we passed World War II. Now where it says, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. About 80 years later, after World War II, a little over 80 years ago, we are at the doorstep of World War III. Will be the end of the world, this world, and the beginning of the following world, which is the rulership of the Israelites, you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. So, brothers and sisters, stay true to the faith. We're close. We're very close to the end. You know what I'm saying? Stay prayed up in prophecy. Watch what's going on, because the doors of mercy are closing very soon. Pray that you, your family, have mercy of the Lord, Abba Shemal Shah. Because the times that we're living in are, spooky. But fret not, man. The Lord is going to have mercy on his people. We just hope that it's us. So with that, I'm going to give all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushua, Ba'ashim Chakadas, the Bahanas, the apostles, the elders, the GMS, Ruwa, Sa'itesh, Hakim, out there pushing this truth, risking freedom in your life to do so, more so now than ever before, because we are close to the end. Till next time, I want to say shalom.